Hi everybody, welcome back again. It's Greg Ligon from Redwine. This is going to be a real treat for you. This is kind of an up close and personal with our founder, Paul Carter. And great stories to tell you about how he got started in this and how this whole journey began. And then a really moving testimony about, well, things just kind of fall into place sometimes and you never expect it. I hope you'll enjoy this segment. Paul Carter, Redwine.
First influence, I guess you could say, was when our intermediate school principal would throw a concert at the last day of the year and would hire a local band to play. And before that, I always would listen to, you know, what my mom had: Elvis, the Beatles, Wings, you know, the typical 50s, 60s music. And this one band played Tom Sawyer, which had just come out earlier that year when Rush released Moving Pictures. And I don't know, just something about that sound just grabbed me right off the bat. And the fact that the bass player came forward and would play rather than being just the guy hanging out. Well, I guess first off's going to have to be Geddy Lee with Rush. Since pretty much that was the first song that hooked me. And then it started following closely behind people like Chris Squire, Steve Harris from Iron Maiden, various other bassists out there. Sound-wise, I've always liked that harder edge with the keyboards, so I was starting to gravitate towards bands like Triumph as well, Journey, Pink Floyd.
What made you start playing again after putting it down 20 years ago?
I don't know, it's a little itch. It had been there the whole time. It's just, you know, I wasn't in the financial position really to do it. I was just treading water for the past 20-something years. And I don't know, when you and I were talking over the past few years of playing music again, I just kept thinking about it. And eventually, the itch just got too bad, and I went and started searching for the right bass to start with again. You know, now that we don't care about being famous or rich, I think it's just something that'd be great for doing what we originally envisioned. It was writing the type of music we wanted to write and write it our way, with nobody telling us what models we had to follow or how to make it sound commercial. We can just write what we're feeling. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
So what do you consider your process when you write songs?
When I write songs? Well, I've got a disconnect with 20 years, so my songwriting style sort of picks up where I left off. I'm slowly starting to learn some of the modern stuff. I've even went so far as buying some of the older equipment and altering as I learn new things. I've always been from the old school way of you just get together with a guitar player and a drummer and you just bang it out until you have a bunch of ideas, and then start chopping it up until it's back down to like 4 minutes. This is a 1987 Rickenbacker 4003.
Sweet.
Very nice instrument. It's always been my dream instrument.
Yeah.
I used to have one of these back in 1983. I had a 1974.
Yeah. So this guy, they made in the U.S. stock pickups. Any mods or anything done to it, or?
All I know is I got this used, and they told me that it was that the pickups were rewired to the output jacks, because it's got the Rico sound too. It's got the double jack.
Mm.
But I'm not gonna worry about fixing it right now because it sounds incredible.
So you got another bass there?
Yes, Alvarez 5-string. I've never done 5-string before. It's been different.
Cool.
It's been actually kind of easy to play and adds a little extra depth to some of the stuff we're thinking about.
And you got a preamp there, it looks like.
This bass pod, yeah, this is one of those Line 6 bass pods. It's one of the newer technologies that I'm now just starting to learn. It's got all kinds of different sound banks and everything that you can choose from, different sounds. Whoops, didn't mean to blow anybody's ear out depending on how crunchy or how nasty you want. My favorite is, of course, this one over here. So I've been having fun with all of this, trying to learn it all, trying to program it, getting it set.
Right on. You got a vintage keyboard here, looks like a Roland JX8P.
Yes, yes, there's an interesting story behind it. I had a model of Roland JX8P, very nice keyboard. It's actually the very first song Greg and I wrote together was on this one. It was Inside Moves. We wrote that back summer of '85, spring of '86. And I had sold one. You know, back when times got lean, sold all my equipment, pawn shops, whoever would buy it, newspapers. And last summer I was looking for a JX8P. Saw one in Vinton, worked a deal with the gentleman that was selling it that if I wanted I just would come down and pick it up. And brought it home and was bragging about it and showing my wife how to program everything in it. Showing her that we used to name the internal patches after our songs, and first one we come up with when I pulled it up was this one here that says Sleepless. Thought it was kind of funny because that's the name of one of our songs. And as I progressed through the patches, the next one that showed up was, of course, Rage. One called This Way that was in progress at the time, and another one, Chase a Dream, and then, of course, Inside Moves. Of course, by that time I was all freaked out and realized that I just bought back my own keyboard after 24 years of it not being around. My wife comes outside after I just couldn't, you know, stay inside any longer, and she tells me, you know, this is yours. And I agreed. And she said, yeah, because here in patch number 19 it just says Paul's Synth.
Hearing Paul's story, you know, the day that he found that JX8P and he called me on the phone, he was just almost breathless with just, Greg, call me now. You know, and I thought, oh my God, did somebody die? What's going on? And then he talks to me and he says, Greg, I bought this used JX8P off of eBay, right? Uh-huh. Look at the names of the patches. Let me read them to you. And then the names of our songs, like he was sharing, you know, Sleepless, Rage, old songs that we'd written. I was like, I couldn't talk. I was just like, what? You know, he just found this thing that he sold 20 years ago. It's providential, it's miraculous. I don't care what you call it. It was really cool. And I know for a fact that Paul probably didn't say this, but, you know, he was just wondering, should I be getting back into music after all this time? I mean, am I crazy? Am I having a midlife crisis? What's the deal? And then he finds that thing. And it's just like, I guess I know I'm supposed to be doing this, kind of. I was just so inspired by the story, and it's still great whenever you hear it. And you can tell Paul gets really emotional about it because it's so meaningful. But it's just part of our journey. It just goes to show you, and I think Paul had a great perspective on this. Don't worry about being a rock star. Don't worry about being famous. Just play your music, make your art, write your book, open your dog boutique. It doesn't matter. Just do something to add beauty to the world, to realize your vision of the world and make it the way you dream it. And who knows what can happen. And I for one, have been inactive in the music business for a while because, I got burned out and stuff, and I failed a lot. I failed handsomely, I must say. But that's what you do. You get out there and stick your neck out and you do it. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if nobody likes it. It just matters if you've been true to yourself and your vision and you stick to it. That's all. And if you think you'll never be able to do it again, try again. And, that's all we can say. So it's a great privilege to share this stuff with you. I love this internet age, and I'm really excited that we're going to be able to make Redwine music the way we always wanted. And just like Paul said, the way we want it, and nobody and their expectations can stop us. So I'm excited. I can tell this is going to be a great project. Next time, I think we'll have more to say about a new drummer for Redwine, and my falling out with Line 6, and my beloved Marshall is now the first string quarterback. I will not ever use modeling. That's not true. I will, but I'm just trying to say that digital technology can be so sterile. Hope you enjoyed getting a chance to get up close and personal with Paul. It's been a great ride, and it's been a lot of fun bringing this to you. And next time, there'll be more great stuff. So subscribe to the YouTube channel, man. Check us out on our Facebook page. We're here. We're not going anywhere. And if you go to my site, greglegan.com, there is a Redwine section. And you'll learn a little bit how we got here. And you'll get to see what we looked like in the 1980s. What fun. Thanks for joining us, Greg Ligon, Redwine. Thanks again. Take care.